Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to be taking apart a Sony Handycam. The model number is HDR-PJ10E, PJ10E. So this little camera has a projector, believe it or not. There's a little projector, projects the image on the wall. I mean, the brightness is low, but yeah. What do you expect? A small camera with a projector, especially when the screen is this thin, so the projector doesn't have a lot of room to have a big bulb. There's just LEDs. Anyways, so let's get started. In order to take this apart, we have to have a Phillips screwdriver, and a very small Phillips, similar to the one you get in a set of Stanley, which you can buy from Home Depot. So we have screws everywhere, so we're going to be opening these two screws first. I'm going to bring a little cup for the screws. Make sure to magnetize your screwdriver, because if you magnetize it, it's much safer. Okay, let's remove this guy. We have another one here. And we have another screw right here near the battery compartment. Okay, we have another screw right inside this compartment. This screw is different. All these screws so far were machine screws. This one is self-tapping screws. So remember that, not to mix them up. Okay, so we have some more screws here we need to remove. This screw is right next to the battery terminal. This one was also machine screw. So there it is. We got to the first level. Now we have more screws to open. Another one here. A couple of screws here. So far the only screw that was different was the one that was inside the compartment right here. All the other screws are the same, identical screws. Now here you have to push this way so you can have access to that one. Then we're going to remove this, this, and this. Let me get it from the other angle so you can see better. Okay. So far so good. There's one more screw right here that's holding a whole bunch of stuff together. There's another screw right here inside this compartment. Notice that. Let's see if it's a different screw. Okay, it's the same screw. The only screw that was different still is the one inside that compartment. All the other screws are the same. So we have two screws right here, here and here. Let me show you from the top. Here and here. Two screws. This comes off, and let's see, do we have more screws? So we have a whole bunch of screws here and here, but we need to see what is holding this from coming apart. What is holding it from coming apart? There it is. That is what's holding it. So this right here is a flat ribbon cable. So what you need to do is you need to open the screw and you unplug this like that. So if you have to, remove this button, that's how you get to it. By the way, you can play this video in reverse to watch it, how to put it back together. There is your USB port. And so here is what holding this guy together. There's two red screws right here. This guy comes off from here, and you have to do it very carefully here because there's one screw right here. You can open that screw. This screw is shorter, so notice that, shorter screw. So this right here needs to come apart, this flat ribbon cable. Let me teach you, this is very critical. To remove this, you see this black tab, you have to pull it up. Let me zoom. See this black thingy? You have to pull it up. There. See how it moves? So once you put it up, now this comes off. Otherwise it doesn't come off. Same thing here, we have another cable that needs to come off, but this cable right here doesn't have a tap, so you just push it up like that. But this is holding it, so I'm gonna first remove this screw because this is holding it. Same type of screw. So now I can easily that is not very safe, so I'm gonna be using this guy. I'm gonna be using this guy. There. That cable is out. So now we finally got to where the screen is. So to open the screen, let me zoom out so you can see the whole picture. We have one screw here. Okay, where did the screw go? There it is. So this is another shorter screw, okay? This guy right here is another shorter screw. Not a full-size screw. Now if you notice, when I put the screen in this position, there's a little tab that needs to be released. This tab right here. And here. Notice this tab got released, and now you can see the full mechanism of the screen. Okay, now let's disassemble this part. This is the internal memory. This right here is the internal memory. In order to disconnect this one, we have to remove the tape. You can use a fresh tape. So there it is, disconnect it. Make sure to put it back through this. And let's see what else is holding this memory card. There are more screws that needs to be removed. Another self-tapping screw. So keep those in mind. Another self-tapping. So there's so far 3 self-tapping screws. The others are machine screws. Machine screw. Let's see, that's machine screw. That's some in between self-tapping and machine screw. Okay. So you have to carefully unplug this so it doesn't break. See this cable right here? You have to carefully unplug it. Where does that go to? To the microphones. Here's your lens. And here is the one last screw that holds the memory board. Again, see that little tab? You have to pull it up to release it. There it is, released. And this is your memory processor. I can't believe it's such complication. I mean, complex circuitry inside a camera that's no more than $500-600. Something with this complexity should be for, you know, thousands of dollars. I don't understand. By the way, I released that because there's another cable that I need to unleash. This cable right here. Let me show you. I need to remove this cable. And there it is. And I need to remove this cable right here. And there it is. Okay, perfect. Now, see, there's so many additional connections on this side that needs to be removed. Only then we have access to this end where we release it, but like that. That's another board. The main video processor up here, it looks like it. But with all these power transformers, this could be the power board. Yeah, this could be the power board. Or it could be both. This is the main board actually. Alright. So now we have two more red screws. The red screws go to specific locations, so you need to pay attention where the red screws went, and you need to put them all together. This is the zoom mechanism, the lens mechanism. With the sensor, the HD sensor. And this is the screen mechanism. And let's see what is holding this guy together. These two screws are holding the screen together. So if I want to remove the LCD panel, these are the screws I need to open. These two little screws. And now my LCD panel is disengaged. But I'm not out of the woods yet, because now I have all these cables that need to be disconnected. And voila, now we have the screen assembly disassembled. So see these three buttons? This cable is for that, powering those. I mean those buttons. See these connections? HDMI earphone and mic. These are the wires for it. This is the HDMI, this is the earphone and mic. So this is a whole piece. These are glued, you don't want to separate them. This is a whole piece. This is the whole piece as the lens assembly. You could go further deep into this one by removing this screw. You could go one level deeper and there's another screw right there. And voila. Now we are down to the actual sensor. Again, as you can see, there's a tab. You pull up and you can remove this cable very gently. There. This is your CCD sensor cable. This right here looks like tape. It's nothing. It's not a connection. So this is my camera with the zoom mechanism. This is the motor drivers. Like this right here. See, that's a motor right there. These are all powering the motor. All kinds of motors here. Focus motor, zoom motor, all kinds of motors. This, however, is the CCD sensor. There are 3 motors in this lens. Amazing. See, 1 motor, 2 motor, and 3 motor. Step motors these are. And this right here is the CCD sensor. I can open the sensor, but I'm not gonna because dust will go in. This is like dust tight, airtight. And yeah, that's that mechanism. This is your lens mechanism. The lens mechanism also includes the projector part. And yeah, so you could like go further deep into every part. Like we can take this apart further. This is like the SD card assembly. If you take that one apart, there is your SD card. This is the plug for the SD card. And yeah, I guess that's to the. Now I will create another video playing this whole thing in reverse that teaches you how to assemble it back together, because I'm not going to be assembling this back together myself, but you could see, you know, reassembly back together, everything from one camera. Alright, anyways, thank you for watching. Let's see, thank you for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe.